We're here with my mama for our second episode talking about kettlebells, and today I want to talk about breathing because I feel that people don't ever think about breathing when they're exercising, and I know it was always one of the first things that we taught. So, tell us about the importance of breathing.
Breathing is very important, and what you want to do is a lot of people when they gather in air, they gather it in through the mouth, and therefore they're just holding their breath. So if you're just gathering in air and you're holding your breath, then you're only getting it this far. You want to gather in air, sniff it in through the nose, and gather it up deep into the diaphragm, and expand the belly out and hold it down deep. And then therefore you can still breathe what they call behind the shield, so that allows you to still breathe as you do your induction for your weights. And then a lot of people don't know when to take in air, when to blow it out. So I always tell people that you always think of that you're pulling and pushing. So if you're pulling something, if you're doing something, you're thinking sniff in, gather it in, and then when you're pushing weight away, up, induction here, that's when you want to breathe out. So deep breath in as you're pushing. So think push, shove. That's usually a good time to think, that's when I gotta let my breath out.
So can they just practice breathing?
Yes, you can. I used to do it all the time when I was at stoplights or trains. You got to be a little bit careful because you can have spittle on the window, and that's dangerous when you're driving in the east or the west.
What if someone is feeling self-conscious about practicing this breathing? Like, what if they're at a gym and they're feeling like...
You should always still, you can do it quietly. You can do a little if you think even just shushing somebody, like you're shushing somebody. It doesn't have to be very loud. Some people like to be very loud about it, but you don't have to be. But it's very important that you breathe, especially if you have back troubles. Breathing can be an exercise in itself. It's forming an invisible belt around you so that you strengthen your back. And not like wearing a belt. Belts can weaken your back. But if you can strengthen your back just by the way that you tighten your body.
Because your core muscles relate to your back muscles?
Yes, exactly. So the way that you stand, the way that you tighten your body, but breathing is the next big key. That like I said, taking that air in, getting it deep down in the diaphragm, holding it there until you need to release it, because you want that air down in there to protect that back.
All right. Very good, Mama. Next week we're going to talk about tension.